This is Rockin' with J-Man is with Breathe In. So how you guys doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, just enjoying life. Happy to do this interview. It's my pleasure for having you guys on my show. Thank you.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure to be on here. I'm still kind of waking up. I got my coffee and everything, so
Good. So,
Sunday. Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. First off, congrats on the new single, Misfortune's Hand. So for anyone who hasn't heard it yet, how would you describe the vibe in like 3 words or at least the song?
Oh man. Uh, Powerful. I mean, it is pretty emotional actually. I'd say powerful, emotional, and driving.
Mhm.
I can't think of three words. I'll just say got nothing. No, that's not three words. Nothing to lose. There you go.
All right. Got it. So you guys blend metal, American metalcore with Japanese metal and visual key. When did you realize this was the way that your sound that define your identity as in Breathe In?
You know what? That was actually more of I personally, for me, like I was always influenced by like Japanese rock and everything, but it didn't become as apparent until like Shola joined the band.
Mhm.
Um, Like we had a lot more of a straightforward sound before, but when Shola entered the picture, he comes from a very J-rock, like Japanese band, like influence. Like he's full, like he goes full send with the makeup and everything.
Mhm.
So a part of like our reintroduction was kind of like incorporating a little bit more of that to add like a little bit more of a theatrical element to it. But I think not just like to J metal and like J rock and VK, but like, Paul comes from more of like a European metal background too. So I think
Mm.
that's pretty badass. So it kind of blends like a lot of like worldly influences, if that makes sense, for a full theatrical sound.
Mhm. So Misfortune's Hand feels cinematic and intense. What was the original spark behind the song?
Um,
Yeah, you wrote the song originally.
all right.
Uh,
So as much as I really want to make this sound like it's like, oh yeah, like we were inspired by something like crazy. Like I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I just came up with like two riffs and just wrote a whole song around it.
Yeah.
But it was just like that it was the verse riff and the breakdown riff, like with the down picking the da 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 da. So we kind of formed the whole song around that. And Paul really resonated with it.
yeah,
So
this that song when he first showed me the demo, a couple of years ago, that like hit me hard, man. It was like one of the toughest sounding riffs like I've ever heard, and I immediately loved it. So like at least on my end, my approach to writing the drums, I wanted to really accentuate like the toughness and the power behind that riff. And like for me, one of like the toughest bands out there is Slayer. So like I just got like very inspired by Slayer for this song, specifically that breakdown. Um, but yeah, I mean, well, and then I guess lyrically too, the lyrics came from
yeah.
the song being like tough and emotional and in like kind of a we wanted the lyrics to be like tough and inspiring too.
It was this song was like in the vault for like a hot minute. Like we had it with like our previous singer and everything, but it really didn't come into full potential and full fruition until Shola like put the words onto like the lyrics.
Mhm.
Like I think what we did was we just kind of painted Shola a picture of like the vibe of the song, and this man literally like that meme picture where it's like the pen is like on fire and like
Yeah.
they're writing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like Shola went full in, and it's like the lyrics are super visceral. Like my personal take on it is it's like a warrior that's got like nothing to lose, and he's just going out guns ablazing just on like a final um, so it just really like kind of matches that intensity. And with Paul, being inspired by like old school, like I kind of brought a little bit more of that new school element with like the super low drop F tunings. And that's kind of how the song came out to be.
So Brian mentioned that this track represents confidence in the new lineup. What shifted creatively after the lineup change?
Paul, you want to take it or should I take it?
No, I mean, I mean, I guess I could start like, um, kind of like Kang, you kind of touched on it earlier, where it's like with the new lineup change, we had two new songwriters in the mix now who brought like wildly different backgrounds from what like we've brought to it. So like I think the shift was, bringing in that visual K kind of background, but and also like Shola's delivery of the vocals too was like very different from like our previous singers, um, which I think also, which can go a long way. Like the the re-recording of White Flag, Shola's delivery is completely different, and it sounds like two different songs, even though the melodies are the same. But that's how much like enunciating certain words and can really make a difference.
Yeah, and to touch up on the whole like confidence in the lineup, like so this would be our second, technically our second single with our Shola and Topeng. The
Mm.
first one was Fallujah, and that was like our reintroduction to the band. So it's like kind of like that first single was like the icebreaker of us kind of getting to know each other's writing styles and getting comfortable with it. Now that like we've kind of been through that rodeo before, like now it's like, all right, we know how each other works and like we're a lot more accustomed. So the best way I can compare it to is it's like you go on a roller coaster for the first time and like you're a little nervous about how it's gonna go. It goes fucking fantastic, and then I can curse, right? Sorry.
No, yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Oh hell yeah. And then after that, like the roller coaster's a fucking blast, and you're like, yeah, like let's go on again, and like exactly what like what to expect this time around.
Hmm. So, if you could describe the internal vibe of the band right now, what would it be?
Hmm.
It's super, it's fun, but it's also super professional, and like we kind of get straight to business.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think this is like one of the most professional bands I've been in terms of trying to get things done and keeping things on track.
Yeah, I mean we send each other like occasional memes and shit, but it's pretty business, like I'm not gonna lie.
You pull visually from Japanese metal and visual key.
Mhm.
Which Japanese artists have influenced you the most musically and visually?
Oh man, I mean that's a lot. Like everyone from like Duran Gray, The Gazette, Hyde, Nocturnal Bloodlust, Dexcore, Shola's like the savant of like VK and everything. Like I only scratched the surface. Like Shola's got some deep cuts. Like he listens to like Lunacy, Malice Miser. He's like I don't know if you know this man, but Gawked, he's like a really popular Japanese singer, and I think he was I forgot what he was the front man of. But like Shola, that's like Shola's number one influence
Hmm.
when it comes to his vocal deliveries. So it does I think a lot of that precision and a lot of the theatrics of it really does bleed into our music. And especially with, like Paul's directory skills when it comes to the camera and just like the kind of like really larger than life sound that we do. I think it really all complements each other very well.
So, if you could collab with one Japanese legend, who would it be?
So for me personally, it would be the guitarist named Kazuki. He is the ex-lead guitar player of Nocturnal Bloodlust, and he's the reason why I got into seven-string guitars in the first place.
Hmm.
Um, I probably like want to do a collab with him. Anybody else too? Like I probably want to like maybe like Darren Gray, Hyde, all the artists I pretty much listed for me. Shola would probably go wild. He'd probably want to do something with like Gawked or something.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess like the only Japanese band I kind of really listened to is like Cold Rain. So
Oh
they're like the
yeah.
only guys that I know. So
Yep.
like, and those guys are cool.
That'd be pretty
Um,
wild if we did something with like Pale Dusk or something.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, those guys are pretty fun too. But yeah, no, we do get a lot of comparisons to like Cold Rain too with our stuff, so that's pretty cool.
What's the craziest thing that has ever happened at a Breathe In show so far?
Um, I don't think that many crazy things have happened so far because like we've only played a handful of shows so far as a new band.
Hmm.
There have been crazy stuff like with our previous bands. In terms of
Well,
Breathe.
actually, no. I mean, this isn't super crazy, but I thought it was pretty awesome when the show we played with Jaluka when Rob like ran out into the crowd and started standing on the
Oh yeah,
bar,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like playing. He's like all the way out on the bar, and he's like standing on top playing bass, and we're all still on stage.
Yeah,
And
like
like, how the hell did he end
oh
up over
yeah,
there? Like that
yeah.
was pretty funny.
I guess that counts. So basically, our first show we opened for the Japanese band Jaluka. It was like a 500 cap venue, right? So we were going in like adrenaline's pumping, we're playing, and like all of a sudden, like our bass player Rob just kind of like spawned like in the crowd. Like, when you're just like in the zone and all of a sudden you just notice like he's just over there. And like because like the crowd and everything, you can't see like the bar top. So I thought like he was like being like someone was like holding him up and shit. And I was like, how the fuck did you get over there so fast?
If a
Yeah,
massive brawl broke out during a show and the fans rushed the stage, who's gonna step up first?
Shola. But
Yeah.
Shola would probably do like crowd control. Like he's very, very like diplomatic when it comes to that kind of stuff. And also that man is built. Like everyone in this band like works out, but I think he's the most like physically fit. So he probably would be able to stop the fight really well. In terms of the rest of the band, I feel like me
Well, we talked earlier. I mean, we're wrestlers, so like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I it's funny. I would probably want to protect my drums at all costs. I'd be fighting people off. I don't want people touching my snare. I don't want people cracking my cymbals,
The moment
you
people
know.
get in the vicinity, Paul puts them in like a chokehold or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And
I think Rob would probably, depending on what the fight is for, like if it's for a justified reason, like let's say like security's being like a dick to a fan or like somebody's like victimizing someone, then he'd probably like instigate it more and like, try to like defend the fan and like, hop in the fight and stuff.
okay. Which band member would survive in a horror movie and who dies in the opening scene?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Oh man.
Paul's the movie savant and like I think he should take this one because he also like doing the music videos and everything, he probably has analyzed like all of our habits and he could
Yeah.
probably like put like a good like you got to tell it like straightforward
Oh
too.
yeah. All right. So who's getting man, that's really rough. Who's getting killed in the opening scene?
Oh, Paul, also one thing to consider too. It would depend on what the setting of the horror movie is in.
Yeah.
If it's like in like the wilderness, like I'm really sorry to throw him under the bus, but Shola would not survive.
Yeah, all right. So when you ask a question like that, the first thing I think of is like a Halloween or Friday the 13th kind of thing, and it's like, I man, when it comes to like wilderness stuff, like, oh man, that's wow, dude, this is a tough question. I've never been stumped on a question like this before.
I feel like it really depends on the context. Like Shola would be, depending on the setting of the situation, he could either be the first one to go or like one of the last ones to go.
Well,
Um,
like, have you ever seen the movie Green Room? I kind of forgot what it was about, but it was like something happened with the band where they got locked in a green room. But like, they
mhm.
were playing a concert and they played it, and then when they were in the green room, it was revealed like the setting or whatever was like a
Mhm.
secret Nazi hideout, like neo-Nazi
Holy
hideout.
shit.
So like all the
Man.
neo-Nazis wanted to like kill them, and they were like stuck in the green room. So they like
Mhm.
had to like survive.
Oh, that's a pretty wild concept.
So
Yeah.
if it's like us banding together, like for survival,
Yeah, so if we're banding together, I guess we just gotta go with like who has the most like self-defense or fighting experience. Like I know
probably.
well I know doesn't Topang isn't Topang didn't he study some kind of martial art or
I
something?
don't know, but Rob went to military high school, so like he kind of
Yeah,
can like, and he's really really resourceful, knowledgeable. Like Rob, our bass
yeah.
player, like he would know. Like he has like what's it called? Like he has his license, his carry license. Like he knows how to shoot guns and everything. This man knows how to engineer pedals, so I'm sure like he could probably like hotwire a car or some shit for a survival scenario. So he would be like our Swiss Army knife in the situation. So we probably had to preserve him. Um. Paul and Chola would probably be more the muscle, so I could see them like tanking a lot of like the the I guess neo-Nazis in the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I hate to throw myself under the bus, but I feel like I'm like the most useless in the situation. Like I'd probably be good for like morale and everything and like all that, but like I'm like the twig in the band, so like I don't know. And then Topeng is like it's hard to say because he's pretty laid back and chill. He's very like go along with the flow, so I don't know how he would like handle the situation, but he is pretty muscular too. So like he could probably throw like a couple punches here and there.
So if the band had to be trapped inside any video game, what would it be?
I know your answer.
Uh,
You would want to be trapped in Sonic.
oh hell yeah. As you I got the Shadow the Hedgehog stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, but it's like I feel like the games that we'd want to be like that we'd be trapped in like wouldn't be favorable to our situations. Like I know
Yeah.
she's huge into like Final Fantasy and like Devil May Cry and that kind of stuff, so he'd probably fit right in there. Rob is like super into like retro video games. Like he has like an obscure collection of those, so I don't know what universe he'd want to be in there. As much as I love like Sonic and Shadow, like I don't want to be a furry, so like I don't know. I guess like the Super Mario universe, everything's fun and like whimsical there. I don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
worry
a good answer.
about dying
Yeah, that's fun.
a
Yeah.
horrible death. Or like Kingdom Hearts or something. I don't know. Anything on you, Paul?
No, I mean, a lot of the games I play are definitely universes I wouldn't want to be in as just myself, you know.
You know what? Actually, you know, it'd be the worst game to be trapped in, Oregon Trail.
Yeah, pretty much.
You walk one step and you die from the common cold.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, but I think that would be it probably.
If you could soundtrack any movie franchise, what would it be?
Paul,
Oh,
it's you.
Godzilla.
Godzilla?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm all the Godzilla movies. I
Yeah.
would love. It's a life goal of mine to work on a Godzilla film, so that's an easy answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this man's love for Godzilla is, I don't think I've ever met anybody that loves Godzilla this much. Like at his like family's house, like
I
his
look. I'm even. I'm wearing a Godzilla shirt right now, right
yeah,
now too. So
dude, like
Okay.
if you have any Godzilla questions, like this man is like the walking encyclopedia for Godzilla. It's great.
Um,
Um, I don't know what movie score I would do. I really loved like the scores from like the Saw franchise that Charlie Clouser did. So
yeah.
maybe that.
oh yeah, though that the Saw theme is really good.
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty heavy stuff too. Like he's got like super low tune guitars in there too, which I thought was pretty sick. And it was like really ahead of the time too.
Mm.
For each of you, what was the exact moment you knew breathing was your path?
Um, the moment someone pissed me off from a former band where
Mm,
it just sparked the fire inside to really like get it going.
mm,
I don't want to delve too much in like the story to like you know in respect of the other person, but it was like you know, when Breathe In was like in its formative days, like I we were just kind of like tossing around demos, like just playing around with stuff. And it was like a very originally the project was like geared more towards like an octane core kind of sound, like more radio rock. But after that situation went down, I just overhauled everything and I was like, no, like I'm pissed. So like we wrote like more like kind of like intense stuff, like shit that would sound like akin to like a final boss music. And I think Paul was involved with the group, but like I think that like the initial demos for like White Flag really won him over.
Yeah, yeah. I remember, when me and Kang we went to a diner and we were talking about, he wanted me to join the band and I was super excited and he showed me the demos and my previous bands have always been like, hard rock with a little bit of metal in there. And like I've always wanted to be in like a full-on metal band. And when I heard at the time it was demo 6, which eventually became our song White Flag.
Yeah,
That's like a power metal masterpiece. I I instantly knew. I'm like this kid knows exactly what I want to play. So like that's how I knew it. I was like, yep. Yeah, I
mm.
got to work with King. This is awesome.
it was the moment was decided by pure unadulterated rage.
So the new single feels like a statement. Is there anything like possibly next, like maybe more singles, EP, album, or even a tour, maybe?
So right now we're currently focused on just releasing more singles. We've been trying to play catch up a little bit.
Mhm.
I can't spoil too much, but we already are in pre-production for the next single, and I think this one's going to be a good departure because it's actually a power ballad. So it's like a nice, you know, foot off the gas, like let's not be pissed off for like a second. And yeah, no, I mean we're pretty open right now. I mean, we don't have any shows or tours like planned out. It's just kind of just focusing on, you know, growing our fan base online and just, you know, putting out more music. Um, but you know, we're always open to you know, like playing more shows and potentially getting on tours. You know, we have a lot of friends in the industry and everything that are like, you know, making a killing right now that we could probably like link up with. So
If you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
Oh, that's tough.
Oh man.
See, the worst part is I'm not hungry right now, so that's not like helping. Let me
Oh
think.
man. I would probably, man, I would, man, that's a tough one. Because like, it's like I guess if you're just gonna die anyway, I would just want to eat everything that like all the unhealthiest crap that like you've never like, it's all the stuff that you avoid like in life and just stuff my face, man. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you've been,
here's a simple answer. I would just want jugs of cheese balls.
Duh.
That's, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I I'm Korean, so probably a mixture of K barbecue and so if you go to any Korean owned like sushi place, there's a dish called haedappap, which is basically like think of like a poke bowl, but like on steroids. Like they got like homegrown veggies and like they throw in like pepper, what else? Like avocado and like this very sweet and spicy gochujang sauce, and that's like my favorite thing.
Hmm.
I probably get both of those.
I've never had Korean food, or at least the Korean barbecue. I almost did, but I just like, is it good or no? Like,
Dude, it's
It's
really,
good,
really
man.
fucking good. Like it's I don't want to like brag too much, but it's
no,
some of
I
the
understand.
best food I've ever eaten. And it's like, dude, you will get stuffed. Like, I'm telling you, like after a wrestling match, dude, if you ever have the opportunity as like a post like workout or post like wrestling meal, like
Yeah.
get some K barbecue, like you are gonna be so satisfied.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So, what's the worst venue you've ever played?
Oh
Um,
man.
hmm. There's
I've had my old band, I had a real stinker show that like I just like out of respect for the people, I won't name the place, but the situation was I was playing the show. It was like a bar restaurant kind of place. And my brother was a waiter there, so that's how we got the show. And apparently this place was like known for being like not like prestigious, but like it's a big step in the ladder towards like being like successful. So it was like a big deal that we got this place, and the management was like harassing my friends because me and my friends we're not drinkers. Like we don't drink alcohol or anything. We don't like do any drugs or whatever. We're like very very straight edge. So it's like the manager was like harassing my friends because we wouldn't order drinks.
Hmm.
And then he started like yelling at my brother, like berating my brother for like, you know, bringing in a band that has a crowd that isn't spending money, and it just like
what
turned
is this
into
about?
like this whole like fiasco. And then they gypped us. They didn't even pay us,
Oh, fuck
or
them.
or or, or they paid us like half of what like we agreed on.
All because you wouldn't get drinks.
Yeah, all because like my friends didn't order stuff
Dude,
like
it's
to drink.
so fucking stupid. Like you
Yeah,
brought in the crowd. Like you does he I don't
yeah.
fuck. Um I have an answer. It wasn't necessarily the worst gig I played, but objectively, because of the situation, it's the worst. Blue Ridge Rock Fest 2023.
Hmm.
Wait, why is that the worst?
Did you hear about the fiasco with Blue Ridge?
No,
Um,
no.
basically the festival it's like, like a massive quote unquote fan-driven rock festival that happens in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I've played it twice. First one was my old band, and the second one was when I was doing the live gig with Madame Mayhem. And the 2023 one, they were way in over their heads. Like they had like the lineup was like A1 and like they were really, really selling tickets and everything, but they didn't have like the proper logistics to handle that many people. So like
Mhm.
it ended up being this like logistical nightmare where it like fucking rained down on the festival and like people were passing out because of like heat exhaustion and like there's no water and like no like not enough plumbing and like the staff was like quitting and like it was so bad that there's like a whole like civil lawsuit against it and people still haven't gotten paid out
Oh
and
wow.
it was we Madame Mayhem ended up opening up the festival. So the first day was really nice, but like we kind of dodged a bullet because we had another show after that, so we drove out. But then like literally the day after we heard like all the shit that unfolded. So we're like, oh shit. Like there's a little bit of like survivor's guilt in there because we're associated with that. So we're just like, fuck. But I mean, overall, like the show itself didn't go off like it went off without a hitch, and it was like one of the funnest shows I played. But objectively, in like the timeline of just like what it's associated with, I think that's definitely the worst.
So, like I was telling you about my tournament earlier, like at one of my matches, I actually got like sucker punched after I won.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, come on, man. That
Yeah, I
stinks.
know. So, for like breathe in, what song would probably fit that moment the best? Because like it was a huge thing after it happened. Like everybody rushed the mat. It was insane. What would be your guys' like track that would fit that moment the best?
Oh, dude, everything. But if I were to handpick it, it depends on your vibe, man. Like if you want to like punch back immediately, Misfortune's hand. If
Mm,
you want to be the bigger guy in the situation, be like, hey, bro, don't test me, white flag.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, that sucks. Like, are you
Yeah, that
okay?
sucks, man.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Like I got like two black eyes now because of it. Like he didn't even like what happened is that when he punched it, like, when he punched me, my headgear actually absorbed most of it.
Oh,
Mhm.
good.
But why he punched me is because we were arguing almost like when the after the first period ended, and then we were wrestling. I finally reversed him, and then I got my half in, and I had him pinned right there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
in order like for him to get like he was really desperate, like he did not want to get pinned, so he started like jamming his finger like right in my
Oh,
Oh,
eye
dude,
until I
what
got
the
my black
hell?
eye. So what I did is that like I put my knuckles down on the mat to like and like just start like choking him with the thing.
Yeah.
What got him really angry is because I said, "How does that feel, bitch?" After,
Ooh.
and then
oh.
as soon as like the ref called the pin, I like pushed myself off of him, and then I slapped his chest, and then I just started like flexing, and then I wasn't paying attention, and he just suckered me right there.
Ah, dude, that's rough.
Yeah.
Paul was saying like, when we would just like reminisce about like high school stuff, like he was saying that like the tension and like the build up and everything with wrestling, like it can be pretty intense apparently.
That's very intense. It's a very
Like
high.
the
Yeah.
intimidation and everything, and
I always used to, you know what, and you can take this if you take this advice, if you want to use it. What I always found drove people up the wall was like you know when you have the mat and then the two teams are across from each other. You
Yeah.
you you know who you're wrestling. So when it gets closer to your weight limit, your weight class, I mean, you'll see like the other guy on the side, like, slapping his legs, jumping around, getting psyched up.
Uh-huh.
What used to piss them off was I wouldn't do that. I would just stand there and just give him a blank stare. Like I wouldn't look scared. I wouldn't look tough. I would just like look like I don't give a crap. And that would psych them out. And it's like, and just be very, very calm. Um, One thing that always used to like really work was if you go out of bounds,
Yeah.
the first thing you do, stand up and you run directly to the center of the mat and you sit there and wait for them to get up. And that's another way to like subtly show intimidation by showing that like you're not gassed, you're not tired, you're nice and calm, and they're putting in all this effort and they can't like, and they're not affecting you. That's like the best way to intimidate people.
Like what I would do for my duels is that if I saw the guy was really getting pumped up, I would like if he would look back at me, I would just start winking at him with a big
hey,
smile.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
I've always liked playing those kind of subtle mind games.
Yeah, the mind games is a huge thing, or a huge
Yeah.
feature, I should say. All right. Thank you guys so much for being on my show. That's all the questions I have, but thank you guys so much again. It's been my pleasure. Of
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
man. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
course.
having us.
You have a good one, guys.
You too, man. Rest up.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Oh, I